Hi, this is Hank reporting from Kyiv, and this is my update on Russian-Ukrainian war. Let's see what happened around Ukraine in the last 24 hours. Sanctions and economy. Rheinmetall expands production. Massive attack repelled. Drone stats. Russian airfield bombed. Ukrainian-Canadian hockey. I refer to the Guardian's material again, and today it's an article entitled "Russia is lying about its economic strengths. Sanctions are working and we need more," with reference to the opinion for as many as 8 finance ministers European countries, namely Sweden, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and the Netherlands. Summary looks like this. The signs are clear that not everything is as rosy in Putin's Soviet-style war economy as Moscow would have us believe. And for me personally, there is nothing surprising in this. We have all seen how they boast in their propaganda programs about how many thousands of HIMARSes they have destroyed. Every week they lie about how they destroyed another brigade of the US Army, shot down another 100 of F-16s, and blah blah blah. No matter how much Putin tries to show his economy as some kind of a miracle, look, we are waging a huge war and our salaries are rising. Soon we will defeat everyone and live like kings. But it's impossible to extract 1 million active employees from the economy and send them to the front. Lose another 1 million more qualified specialists who fled to the West along with their money. Receive a record number of sanctions from all over the world. Collapse the export of fuel and oil, its main sources of income throughout the country. Lose a third of oil refining due to Ukrainian attacks on refineries and much more, and ultimately benefit from this. This is simply impossible, and 8 economic ministers confirm this. This article does not answer the main question: when will the overheated Russian economy collapse? But you can read why, according to ministers, increased sanctions are necessary. I'll leave a link under the video. Rheinmetall, one of the main partners in the production of technological German weapons, has signed an agreement with Ukrainian company for the production of the 155mm caliber shells, and now an official press release has appeared, which can be summarized by the phrase "production in Ukraine," which is expected to result in a 6-figure number of artillery shells per year under full load, will therefore play a key role in the supply of artillery ammunition to Ukraine in the coming years. They plan to reach the amount of production in 2 years, in the summer of 2026. As you can see, we already have some major partnerships in the medium term by war standards. A lot can change in 2 years, judging by how much is happening here during any months or over at least 2.5 years of hostilities. This is a good sign for me. I see that building a large plant is a plan for the future. It's unlikely that anyone will invest hundreds of millions of euros without weighing all the risks. And I want to believe that there are still agreements that are not spoken about out loud. It's logical to hide your capabilities. We really need some kind of military miracle to raise morale, because there is endless talk about these F-16s, which is like a carrot on a stick. Below the video there will be a link to the press release for those who like to read in the details. This video was filmed by the 79th Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and here you see what is called one of the largest assaults since the beginning of the war. According to information from our defenders, they counted the simultaneous use of 57 units of heavy armored vehicles, 12 motorcycles and 200 soldiers. Among them were 11 tanks and 45 armored personnel carriers. We can say that this is a whole separate army that moved forward for the assault. As a result, this attack was repulsed and the Russians lost 13 pieces of equipment and all 12 motorcycles and 77 infantry and had to roll back. This video is longer in the original, but I can't show it on YouTube for reasons. Every time I think that we shouldn't underestimate the Russian army and doubt that they can go on such a suicidal attacks, something like this appears and I tell myself, oh, no, they really can't. In this photo you see an icon depicting a convicted criminal, terrorist, murderer, Yevgeny Prigozhin, who was called Putin's chef. The woman who published this photo tells a heartbreaking story that this icon belonged to her father, who fought in the terrorist group Wagner and always took this icon with him when he went to storm Ukrainian positions, which means when he was literally killing Ukrainians on their own land. The father complained that his commander did not understand anything and simply drove them to death in a meat assaults. Predictably, he died, and the woman has now left this icon at home as a family amulet. Good luck understanding this. The Ukrainian Ground Forces Command provides interesting statistics. According to their data, 7,916 Russian drones were neutralized in the past week alone using electronic warfare equipment. This does not include those shot down using firearms and air defense systems. Just imagine this number. I don't know the percentage of the total, but in any case it means that Russia uses tens of thousands of drones every week for reconnaissance and attacks. Today, electronic warfare has become one of the most essential pieces of equipment in the new era, the era of drones. Every day I see and I support new volunteer fundraisers for electronic warfare because they literally save the lives of our soldiers. Last night, Ukrainian drones attacked the Dyagilevo military airfield and oil refinery near the city of Ryazan in the Russian Federation. We don't know the results of this attack yet, but it's interesting that it was from this airfield that the Russians first used long-range supersonic bombers Tu-22 and 3 to strike Mariupol in 2022. These bombers are part of their nuclear arsenal and they can carry a nuclear charge. This is what this airfield looks like. At the moment, we want to know that at least one bomber was damaged. By the way, my old friend from Mariupol moved to this city of Ryazan after the war started and seems to live there. I wonder how he feels about seeing these planes taken off to bomb his homeland and kill his friends. I found an interesting photo on the internet. As said, it depicts 3 players of the Canadian hockey team in 1976, and on their uniforms you can clearly see the traditional Ukrainian tridents, which at that time were banned in the Soviet Union as symbol of undesirable nationalism. Well, you remember everyone had to wear only hammer, sickle and portraits of Stalin. People did the fact check and found out about these guys. In the Ukrainian-Canadian newspaper Svoboda, which means freedom in Ukrainian, there was information that the men in the photo are players of a student hockey team which was called the Cossacks. The team was located in Winnipeg, Canada. The team is famous for winning in 3 seasons of University League. That's nice, and I know that there are quite a lot of people with Ukrainian roots in Canada. Many years ago, a person from Mariupol who I used to know married a Canadian native with Ukrainian last name and moved there. I will leave a link to an article about this photo and a scan of the 1976 newspaper with an image of this uniform. The day before yesterday, I jumped out of bed again at 2:30 in the morning from an explosion. Our air defense shot down an Iranian-Russian drone and I didn't sleep for half night, and the whole day went awry because of it. To my shame, I lost yesterday's script for the video and had to add part of the text here today. It happens. Now I understand that trying to keep up with all the news is a very difficult task and it takes energy, so I understand people who miss a lot of what is happening in Ukraine. Some of my friends from the States say, "We fully support Ukraine and want you to win this war and restore justice, but our life is also full of events and we just do not have time to follow everything." And so maybe these short videos will be useful so you don't waste your time searching. In any case, thank you to everyone who supports us, and this was my update on the Russian-Ukrainian war for day 882. Take care and I hope to see you tomorrow.